Good morning. The last couple of days we've been looking at how people came to Jesus and how they expressed faith in him. Do you remember we saw Jairus coming about his daughter, and then we saw the woman who had the flow of blood. And then yesterday we looked at the danger of unbelief and how that stops us coming to Jesus for healing. Today I'd like us to look at a short passage that is sandwiched between some other more well-known stories. I think it's sometimes easy just to skip over these little passages in between. So we'll take a look at Mark 6 and verse 53. And we see that Jesus and the disciples had crossed over Lake Galilee in their boat and had moored to the shore and then got out of the boat. And people immediately recognised Jesus. Now, I don't think this just means that they recognised him as a person they knew. I think it means that they recognised who he was and what he could do. You see, there'd be stories circulating about the miracles that Jesus had been performing. He would be known. But I think these people know something more about him. I think they know that he is the only answer to their needs. How do I know that? Well, it says that when they recognised him, they ran about the whole region. I think sometimes we just need to let our imaginations work with the text and just think what that might look like. Just imagine that boat coming to the shore and then people seeing who it was and thinking, he's here. And then they run to go and get people who are sick and to bring them to him. Not only that, but it seems that they carried them on their beds. So this perhaps wasn't even just one person, but it could be a community activity with people carrying people on their beds to wherever they heard that Jesus was. So Jesus was obviously going around. It says he was in villages, cities or countryside, but wherever he came to, people were laying the sick in the marketplace. They're just laying them in the marketplace because that would be an open area where people could congregate. And then notice this, it says they implored him. Now we saw that verb, didn't we, a couple of days ago, and we talked about how imploring means to beg with desperation, and thought about how there might be repetition, there might be an agitated tone in that because it expresses urgency. And their urgency is that these people are sick and there's no one else who can heal them. There isn't anybody else who can heal them. And it says that they begged him that they might touch even the fringe of his garment. And again, that's a phrase that we saw with the lady with the flow of blood. She said, if I can just touch the fringe of his garment, I will be made well. It's how she expressed her faith. And it seems that these people are doing the same thing because it says, and as many as touched it were made well. So Jesus again is not turned off by the fact that they're desperate, the fact that they're crying out to him, but he's responding to their faith as well, that they're believing that if they can just get to him, if they can just touch him, that they will be made well. I think this passage is very challenging for us because there's this sense of urgency to bring people to Jesus. And I think for us, when we think about it, we think, well, Jesus isn't here. I can't just bring a sick person to him. And I think it's wider than that for us. It's not just sick people. It's people who have needs, and most of all, the need for salvation. Because Jesus is the only one who can meet any of our needs. And so, the challenge is, am I being intentional? Am I bringing people to Jesus with faith that he's the only one who can do anything about their needs? I think sometimes perhaps we tire of praying for the same people, or we wonder if God might heal them, or have all sorts of questions like that in our mind. But I think from this passage that what I get from this is that it's urgent. And we need to bring people to him. And actually, it's Jesus who responds to our faith. It's not about us. It's not about what we think he might do, but Jesus responds to faith. So we need to make that declaration, don't we? That Jesus is the only one who can answer our need. And I just want to encourage you today, if there are people that you've been praying for a long time, keep going. Keep being urgent. Keep putting your trust in Jesus, because he is the only one who can meet their needs. So, have a good day. Bye.